Hope you are thorough with the first part of the lesson. In this chapter, we cover two mass movements led by Gandhiji very thoroughly. The first one is a non-cooperation movement, and the second one is a civil disobedience movement. Other than these two movements, there is one more mass movement, the third and the last movement led by Gandhiji, that is the Quit India movement. There is only a brief mentioning of this event in this chapter. Today, in the second module of this chapter, we learn the non-cooperation movement in depth. Let's have a bird's eye view of the event before going to the depth of the topic. To have a better understanding of the topic, we must know what is non-cooperation movement, why non-cooperation movement was organized, what are the reasons for non-cooperation movement, what are the aims and objectives of non-cooperation movement, how was it carried out, the stages, the tussle, the agreement, disagreement, how people viewed this movement, who participated, why did they participate, how did they participate, what was its outcome, and so on. What is non-cooperation movement and why non-cooperation movement? What is non-cooperation movement? Non-cooperation means not to cooperate. Here, it was not to cooperate with the British rule. Why did Gandhiji decide to go for his non-cooperation movement? He explained it clearly in Hind Swaraj that he believed that British rule was established and survived in India only with the cooperation of Indians. So, to put an end to the British rule and to bring Swaraj to India, Indians must be ready to refuse cooperation with the British. In Module 1, we have already discussed the events between 1940 to 1919, that is, the event from the First World War and its consequences to the Khilafat issue. Once again, we can have a quick recap of those events. The factors that led to the emergence of nationalism in India indirectly paved way for the outbreak of the non-cooperation movement, the first mass movement. So, both the factors led to the growth of national movement into a mass movement and the reasons for the non-cooperation movement are the same. It is about the aims and objectives of non-cooperation movement. For every action, there is an aim or objective. Same is true to a movement. The aims and objectives of non-cooperation movement were to undo the injustices done to Punjab and Turkey. It is in Punjab, the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, and in Turkey, the British treated the Caliph in a very bad manner after the First World War. And the second and the most important aim of non-cooperation movement was to attain Swaraj. Gandhiji decided to unfurl non-cooperation movement in different stages. First, by surrendering the titles awarded by the government. For example, Sir, Bahadur, Rai Bahadur, all these were the titles given by the British government to different Indians based on their social status. but all such titles given by the British were surrendered. Then the second stage was to boycott civil services, army, police, law courts, legislatures, educational institutions, foreign goods, etc. And third stage, if the British tried to repress the movement, in case of any repression, Gandhiji decided to launch full civil disobedience campaign, that is, not to follow any British laws. Launching of the movement was not a hurdle-free one. Leaders faced many obstacles. They addressed opinion differences, and through discussions they got into a consensus or agreement, and they decided to launch the non-cooperation movement. The main tussle or the difficulty or opinion difference, that was mainly because some of the leaders had concern about the proposals suggested by Gandhiji regarding the unfurling of non-cooperation movement. And some of them were not ready to accept the boycott of legislature. They were reluctant to boycott the council elections, which was scheduled for November 1920. There was a fear that the movement might lead to popular violence. All these were the areas of concern. But finally, they discussed, and at the Nagpur session of Indian National Congress in 1920, they worked out a compromise and adopted the program of non-cooperation.